Hello and welcome. In this specific video, we're going to talk about time-tested WordPress layouts for converting prospects into buyers. Now, there are going to be many different types of layouts depending what niche you go into and so forth. But I want to show you the structure of it all so that you can fill in the content if you choose to do so and have some flexibility as well. Now, before we get started in talking about layouts, we need to talk about that you need to know your audience and competition because this is crucial. Knowing your audience is key to appealing to them and getting them to take action. Knowing their demographics, who they are, what their lifestyle is and things like that. If you can put yourself in their shoes and know them very well, then you're going to be able to convert and set up a layout that actually appeals to them, and your conversions will get higher. So whatever niche or market you are in, you need to know what your visitors are looking for, what keeps them awake at night, what problems they have, and so forth. And also know who your competitors are. Spy on their websites, see what's working for them, and not copy them, but just get an idea. Now let's talk about the layout. The layout must appeal to many groups of people through the design, good-looking sites, easy access of content, well-organized, easy navigatable site, and more. So let me give you some examples. Groups of people. You've got sales or emotion-driven type people that get really excited about products and services. So they want to know benefits, they want to know results, and then they want to know what's in it for me. Analytical type groups of people. They want to know about questions, answers to questions, FAQs, information, documentation, wikis, content, reviews, ratings, and so forth. So they're information driven. And then you got opportunists, the creative mindset type people, the marketers, the people who see different ways that your product can be used. So in this case, the layout, the design, the organization, the social media, and showing people how your products and services can be used is important. So taking all this information about these groups of people, combining it into a layout is actually quite easy. And if you notice that all these three actually integrate into each other and intertwine into each other, and the costly mistake is that most websites appeal to only one group of people. So some of them just are basically content only. Some of them are really nice design, but not a lot of content. Some are benefit and results driven. They don't have a lot of content and so forth. Now let's take a look at a few websites of successful people that use proven systems that follow this type of layout. So if we go to dankennedy.com, as you can see here, he has the logo at the very top. He has some social media stuff out here. You got the navigation menu. You got a slider. He has a free offer and a bunch of other free offers down here. Now, the human eye starts from here, and they usually go from here and then forward and down. So they could go from all this over and then down. And then eventually they'll look at the content and stuff like that. So this is why you need to appeal to those three different user groups, is because some of them are going to look for the design and it says, okay, this is an appealing site, I'm going to go read it. And then they'll look at the facts and stuff. And the people that just want the content, okay, it's like easy to access content up here. And the sales emotional driven people can look at this and be like, oh, okay, how can you help me, blah, blah, blah. What do they offer? What are the products? And what are people saying? We got social proof and testimonials here. And we got the Facebook box here. And then if we look at TonyRobbins.com, he's got the logo up here. He's got the navigation menu, a slider, and some other content. So as you can see, it varies from niche to niche, but as you can see, it's quite similar in the logo, the slider, the navigation menu, social media icons, and some free offers here. And then joepolish.com, he's got his logo up here, his phone number, his navigation menu here, slider, not really slider here, but you got an image here, and you got a free offer here and some content here. So as you can see, you don't have to do everything that I'm going to show you next in the time-tested layout because it varies from niche to niche. Now let's take a look at our proven and time-tested layout. And don't be scared because you're going to see a ton of content within the layout. And you don't have to do everything. I want to emphasize that. You don't have to do everything on it. But you just got to understand the flow of how people see things and understand the basics. And depending what niche you are in, depending what market and audience you're targeting, the layout can transform and vary from niche to niche. So this is the layout, a typical layout that we talked about. And as you can see, it looks very similar to all the other websites that we showed you of, Joe Polish, Tony Robbins, Dan Kennedy, and so forth. And at the top here, we've got the logo, and then we've got a phone or banner ad. And if you put a banner ad, I'd recommend that you link it somewhere within your site, something educational if you're just starting out or you're building your brand. Then you have your tagline here, your navigation menu, your slider, and you'll notice that more and more themes, WordPress themes, are including some sort of slider. And the slider should contain pictures, information, ratings, reviews, and so forth. Then you have some sort of free offer. And you could have this to be, free report, free video, or free quote. Then you can have a banner ad. You can have a Facebook block to have social proof. You can have useful ads or reviews. You can have FAQ and services. What's in it for you? You can have maps or text. You can have your phone number, legal stuff, and more. Now, don't let this freak you out because if you want to keep it basic, you could have the logo, you could have the tagline in the navigation bar, and you could have the slider and maybe a banner ad and a bunch of content. You really don't have to have every single thing, but if you really want to take it to the max, then study this layout. The Facebook block here is great for social proof, for the opportunists and the salespeople, because they want to know if they see that their friends like your company, then they're going to like the company most likely, and your conversions are going to go up. So use every bit of this to your advantage. And the fold here, basically, anytime somebody loads a website, above the fold just means that every time you load the site, everything above in your window at the top is above the fold. So you want to make sure that the most important stuff is above the fold, like your logo, your navigation, your slider if you choose to do so. And you need to know your primary group. If your primary group is, let's say, analytical thinkers, maybe you need to remove the slider or have the slider but only put reviews, ratings, and information, or move this up, and so forth. So knowing your group is very important, but appealing to all three groups, if your product and service appeals to all three groups, is important. So that's why knowing your audience and knowing your competitors are so important. So where do you go about getting access to one of these WordPress themes that looks similar to something like this? Now, most likely you're going to need to build something that looks like this. And depending on your niche, you can build it quickly and easily and fairly easily. But for the basic platform, you're going to need some 2-column theme. So as you can see here, if I go back here, we've got the main column, and then this whole thing here is just the sidebar. So it's a typical 2-column theme. And examples of sites that look similar to this is GoPress. So let me go ahead and show you that. Okay, so right now I'm at google.com and I can do a WordPress theme 2-column. And sometimes depending on your market, you can type in a website type. But in this case, I'm going to say column, logo, and just take a peek. Oh yeah, and put free too. If you want something free, make sure you type it free here and just start looking around. Now there is a specific WordPress theme that I like to use called GoPress, and it's free. So GoPress, click on here. And it's created by a guy who owns a site that says wpexplorer.com. And the reason why I like this is it's just similar to the time-tested layout. And click on preview here. As you can see here, we got the logo, a banner ad, the tagline, the navigation links, a slider, and the slider is actually built in. And you got the advertisement, banner ads here, you got ability to put content here. You can put your Facebook social widgets and stuff like that on this side, because this whole area is widgetized, so you put any widget you want, and you got other stuff here. So GoPress actually is a great free WordPress theme, and you gotta log in, you gotta create an account to download it, but it's free, and that's it. So remember, even though I've shown you a time-tested layout, you can put all the content you can in there, but you can tweak it depending on your niche and your market.